Good morning and thank you for dialing in, everyone. As we've got a few people registered, we'll wait just a moment or two just so that we can allow everyone to join and get comfortable before we begin. Okay, I'm going to get started. So good morning, my name is Haifa Khatib and I am a marketing assistant here at InfoTrack. Welcome to today's webinar where we'll hear about how to submit digital AP1s through integration with InfoTrack and Actionstep. Taking you through today's webinar, I'm delighted to be joined by Oliver Trump from Actionstep, Kelly Cutler and Lisa Somerton from InfoTrack, who will be sharing their insight and knowledge on submitting digital AP1s through InfoTrack. Before we begin the webinar, I would like to draw to your attention to the Q&A tab, which is located at the bottom of your screen. We will be running a Q&A at the end of this session, so please type any questions you might have for Sean for everyone who's on the panelists, along with your name into the Q&A box. That way, if we run out of time or if your question requires further clarification, we can extract your information and follow up with you directly after the webinar. I'll now hand you over to Lisa. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and once again, thank you for joining us today. As Haifa said, my name is Lisa Somerton and I'm Head of Strategic Partnerships with InfoTrack. As I'm sure you are probably all aware, in April of 2021, the Land Registry took a giant leap to moving away from paper-based processes and launched the Electronic Digital Registration Service, or EDRS, as it's more commonly referred to now. From November this year, the Land Registry will no longer accept scanned or PDF copies of AP1s for changes to existing titles. Everything will need to go via EDRS. The good news? InfoTrack already has a solution in place and has done for some years. An incredible number of applications have already gone through this, with around 30,000 a month being from InfoTrack, probably more now. And the results have shown that requisitions on basic errors are down by up to 25–30%. And applications are processed and completed in half the time of an uploaded application. This obviously means law firms will save a great deal of time and reduce their risk. Through InfoTrack and our integration with Actionstep, you'll be able to use our AP1 service, meaning no one needs to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to worry, you've already got the solution, it's there and ready for your use. Our AP1 product, like our other products, integrates straight back into Actionstep. So I'm now going to pass you over to Kelly, who will walk you through the recent change and the great feature and do a demo for you. Kelly.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Yeah, so my name's Kelly Cutler. I'm a knowledge manager here at InfoTrack. So I'm just going to run through a very short PowerPoint of the changes, and then we're going to jump into InfoTrack solution. I'm just going to switch my camera off so I can concentrate on the presentation rather than my face in the background. Right, there we go. So as you know, so from November 2022, we will no longer accept scanned or PDF copies of AP1s for changes to existing titles using the Land Registry portal. So that's their statement direct from the Land Registry. Actually, currently up to 80% of AP1 submissions involve uploading physical paper documents. So what's the change? So currently we've got the electronic document registration service, otherwise known as the EDRS, which is a PDF or a scanned form. These are uploaded into the system for it to be read and reviewed by a caseworker, and that's all a manual process. The digital registration service, this is where data is added into predefined fields, and actually capturing it this way allows the system to read the data and check for any errors. So we're moving away from the EDRS and we're moving to the DRS. So why is the Land Registry going digital? It's because there are current manual process delays and costs. They are receiving a high number of requisitions. There are lots of support calls, and there is obviously long wait and poor service. Lack of requisition management tool. And obviously they need to protect the register's data integrity. So what does this mean for the industry as a whole? It means quicker processing times, digitalisation of the process, online guidance and support for submissions, fewer errors and reduction in requisitions, and the opportunity for further innovation. So what things does a law firm need to consider going forward? So change management. Obviously, there are going to be change challenges. You don't want to get stuck in the backlog. Obviously, November's coming up really quickly, so you need to get ahead of that change. You're going to need to consider staff training catered to individuals, and obviously ongoing real-time support as well. Then there's productivity. So again, registrations will be digital only, no more paper or PDF forms. You need to consider your software suitability, so your integrations, and the ability to directly liaise with the caseworkers. And then from a compliance point of view, audit trail and how to report to regulators, full firm visibility of all matters, including requisition management tool, and key dates automation. So what are your solutions? It's the new digital process through the Land Registry DRS service, or you can use a Land Registry partner integrated through the business gateway like InfoTrack. So just to give you some stats on InfoTrack, we are Land Registry's key business partner and biggest user. We've been doing digital AP1 since 2016. We have 6 years of continuous software improvement. We've managed to reduce requisitions by up to 30%. And we do over 550,000 submissions a year. It's actually nearing, I think, 600,000 now. So what does digital AP1s by InfoTrack look like? It gives you full guidance and expert support for every application. We have form flexibility, so you can do multiple forms in one application, such as shared ownership. Integrated with leading CMS as well as lender panels. We have one-page form pre-populated and linked to the HMRC's SDLT5 and electronically signed deeds. And we have our unique AP1 dashboard with application overview, auditing tools, requisitions and cancellations. So looking ahead, what is InfoTrack going to do? We're going to continue to invest in more experts for additional support. We're going to continue to expand our integration partners. We're going to add new lender management panels, and we're going to continue to reinvest back into the system. And there's just a testimonial by one of our long-standing clients who uses both SDLT and AP1 through InfoTrack. So now I'm going to move on to walking you through InfoTrack's end-to-end digital AP1's submission and management software. So bear with me while I just switch screens. There we go. So AP1 can be found in the post-completion workflow naturally sitting behind SDLT, where we similarly integrate with the HMRC, allowing you to digitally submit your stamp duty returns. Using both the post-completion services allows you to submit these in under 5 minutes. As I've mentioned, InfoTrack released our AP1 product back in 2016, and we continue to work very closely with the Land Registry to develop the business gateway services across the Land Registry services. What you see here is our latest AP1 software, which has been built with the aim to make your post-completion process faster, more accurate, and reduce the potential for unnecessary requisitions. So if I click into the AP1 form, what you're going to see here is our smart, interactive one-page form. And like in all InfoTrack products, your matter reference tells us about information already contained within your matter. So depending on whether you're accessing InfoTrack from your case management system or depending on the orders you've already placed with us, we can populate up to 90% of your AP1 form for you. It's really important when it comes to reducing the time it takes to complete your AP1, removing the need to rekey information and reducing the potential for missed information. I'm just going to pop my matter reference in. On this matter, I've already ordered a register and submitted my SDLT return. So as we work through the form, you'll be able to see how much information is already pre-populated for you. All required fields are asterisked, so you won't be able to submit your application with missing information. Registration type is our first required field. So for Land Registry portal customers, you should be used to selecting the registration type, But if you're unsure as to the registration type relevant to your application, head over to our FAQs for definitions, plus lots of other AP1 tips and tricks. Today, I'm going to be running through a simple discharge, transfer and charge, affecting the whole of the title. So dealing is the relevant registration type. Our title number has already pre-populated over, but we are able to add on further titles here. And we'll also verify the title automatically for you. And we'll also show the address and the pending registration status here on the right-hand side, reducing the risk of cancellation of your application due to an invalid title. We've also pre-populated the local authority and the postcode, so we can now move on to selecting the priority applications we're looking to change the register with. All you need to simply do is select the drop-down to see the wide range of the application types easily identifiable with their form code and description. We actually organise the applications into common forms and form bundles, making it quick and easy to select common applications like discharge, transfer and charge. And just like most forms, our AP1 form is about working left to right, top to bottom, and reviewing the information from your file and documents and completing the relevant fields. We also integrate with our Sign It for Deeds product. So where your deeds have been electronically signed, on selecting yes, we'll automatically look for and upload your conveyancer certificate into supporting documents. If your deeds are not signed electronically, then you can simply upload them here and confirm their certification. And for those of you that are integrated with the case management, you're able to select the files associated with that matter only. If you need to move the order in which your application type should be registered or removed from the title, you can simply drag and drop them. There's no limit on the number of applications you can submit in one AP1. And if you can't find the application that matches your deed, simply select AP1, change the register, upload your deed and proceed to the next section. We'll also automatically calculate your lead application fee for you using the pre-populated consideration value from your STLT submission. So no need to use a fee scale or a calculator. We'll also upload and attach your STLT5 for you, reducing the risk of it being forgotten and a requisition being raised. Here in supporting documents, you'll be able to upload any supporting file like consent forms, power of attorneys, countersigned documents, and so on in one place. All along the right-hand side as well, here we added some handy guidance when completing the sections, just to give you that added support, and it helps reduce common requisitions. So for new users that maybe start to submit without any prior knowledge of the paper AP1, these guides can really help users better understand the sections and the land registry's requirements. Now we're going to move on to the party details. We've split what traditionally was panel 13 into 3 manageable sections: applicants, proprietors, and other parties. As missing or incorrect information is a common cause of requisitions, we wanted to group the information in a way where you can move through the sections consciously, ticking off the required fields from left to right without having to jump around the form or clicking through multiple pages. As you can see here, the majority of the work is done for us. The applicant's name and your details as the lodging conveyancer are already pre-populated. We can also complete the applicant's role field because you've told us that you're lodging a transfer and charge. All that we need to do here is enter in the lender's details for the applicant's new mortgage. If we simply start typing, there we go. And that will populate their address for their service too. We can also confirm our details as the lodging conveyancer. And if your firm's process is for support staff to create the AP1s and then conveyancers lodge the application, you can simply select the lodging conveyancer from a list of users within your firm here, and you can update their contact details here if needed. Now we can move on to the proprietors section. We call it this because we know that there is a transfer being lodged, and so a registered proprietor will be a transferor. As we've ordered the register on this matter, we're able to populate the proprietors' names here. We're also able to populate the conveyancer's details from the STLT submission, and again associate the borrower roles of the discharge application and the transferor for the transfer. all I need to do is simply add in the lender name. There we go. If there are any other parties within the application, then they can be entered under this section here. Simply select the drop down and you can add in whether there's power of attorney, beneficiary, etc. As we've built the form, you may have noticed that on the left-hand panel, we will update with key information to help you review the information supplied as you go, and you can jump to each section. Okay, so now we move to the associate application section. The task here is to similarly review the application. So we have the two people against the discharge, the two borrowers, sorry, with the lender associated to the discharge. We've got the transferee and the two transferors for the TR1, and then we've got the borrower and the lender for the new charge. All that's left to do is to complete the address for service for the applicants. You can enter the address for service for each provider yourself, including their postal, email or DX address. As we move further down the form, we've got disclosable interest has been defaulted to no for ease. And that, again, that's just to speed up the time it takes to complete the form. Now we get to the final few sections here. I like to call this an integration within an integration, but we have the LMS panel drop down. So if you're integrated with us for LMS for mortgage offers, you can link your application to your LMS case number and will automatically send them your submission receipt and then completion of registration details once your application is complete. So you don't have to go off to another website and you won't receive those charges if you're on the LMS panel. When we move further down, we've got the notes section. This form is fully flexible, so any information you need to add in to let the caseworker know, you can add it in here as well. We also integrate with our MRO1 lodgement software, and we'll pre-populate the certification wording straight into the notes section for you here as well. Finally, here at the bottom of the form is where you can confirm the credentials used to submit the application. These will be stored in your InfoTrack settings, but on occasions where your land registry EDRS account changes, because you've maybe updated your password, you can update them here as well. And you can also include any third-party recipient information here for all correspondence about the application. You can simply select a colleague from the drop-down or select other user to manually enter the details. You can then save and print, or you can submit that straight to the land registry. Now what I'm going to do is just move you on to our AP1 dashboard. As with most InfoTrack products, we have what I like to call a big brother overview of those products. So if I head to the AP1 dashboard, you'll see all your submissions here. You can actually export them into a CSV file, so you can filter through those submissions. And you can filter through the submissions using this top ribbon here. So if you want to look at cancellations, completed AP1s, you just need to tick these relevant boxes. I'm just going to go into one where we've got a requisition outstanding. You'll basically have the document that you've lodged. You can also check the day list for any pending registrations. You can look at any related files against the AP1. And then we have some technical information at the back, but you can also, again, add any additional recipients in the back here. But here is what we essentially have is the AP1 dashboard, which is your WhatsApp style chat, if you like, and it goes direct to the caseworker. So we've got some really handy features here. You're able to update any internal notes. So a colleague may see it. So in this case, Chloe's dealing with this particular one. You can request HMLR further action, whether that's cancellations, you would like an update. You can select that here and that will go off to the caseworker for you. Again, throughout, you'll see that we have our FAQs that's able to further support and guide you through these applications. And then you can respond to the requisition. So we have a handy tool here, regenerate details. As we said, panel 13, usually I think gives quite a high number of requisitions, but maybe there's a spelling mistake or the conveyance's details are incorrect or party role. You can basically make the amendment here. And as you can see, it's put it in a format down here that we know the land registry are going to accept, preventing you from receiving more requisitions. You can add any additional parties as well and upload any supporting documents. This is a completely free type box, so any message, anytime that you want to send to the caseworker, you can do it in this chat here. And again, as I mentioned earlier, again, FAQs to help you. So along with our unique AP1 dashboard, you also have access to the calendar, which will allow you to be super organized, and you can see what AP1 cancellations are coming up or OS priority expiries as well. So that is InfoTrack's solution. I'm now going to stop sharing and I'm going to pass you over to Oliver.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kelly. Just turn my camera back on. Yeah, so not a whole lot to add, but obviously when you integrate ActionStep with InfoTrack, you're able to pull the relevant data from ActionStep over into InfoTrack really easily. So this works with searches or filling out an AP1 or anything else like that. And then any letters, forms, documents from InfoTrack are automatically saved back into ActionStep. And also disbursements are clearly listed and slips are created automatically. So really the benefit, as Kelly mentioned, of integrating this with your case management software, in particular with ActionStep, is it just saves a lot of time and duplicate data entry and reduces the risk of human error. We do have an integration already built. And so if you're using ActionStep and InfoTrack and aren't using the integration, definitely chat to one of us and we'd love to help you set up on that. Or if you're interested in learning a bit more about either InfoTrack or ActionStep, of course, reach out and we're happy to share. And one other thing to mention is that the integration is free. So we don't charge for that at all. The only thing you would pay for is just ActionStep and for InfoTrack. So that's all for me.
Perfect, thank you. So thank you to everyone for your presentation and for the insights that you provided. We've had a few questions, so we're just going to jump straight right into the Q&A part of the webinar. So this question is for Kelly. Am I limited to the number of titles I can submit in one AP1?
No, so you're not formally limited to the number of title numbers you can include in one submission.
Okay, thank you. And how do I pay the registration fee?
So your registration fees are usually direct debited from your land registry account, which is obviously linked to your EDRS credentials, which is in the back end of InfoTrack.
Okay. And can I cancel an application that I've made via InfoTrack?
Yes, you can cancel your application quickly via the request action option following the drop downs, and we'll even populate the application's land registry reference number for you for clarity as well.
Okay. And we have, I think, one more question. Do you need to lodge a paper AP1 form as well?
No, so on submission, you are sending the land registry an electronic AP1 form as data.
Okay, thank you. So I think that's all the questions that we have today. I would like to say a big thank you to Oliver, Kelly, and Lisa Summerton for joining us today. I hope you all found this session helpful and informative. If you do have any other questions about anything you've learned today, then please don't hesitate to contact us via telephone on 0207 186 8090 or reach out to your account manager, who will also be able to assist you. This session is being recorded and we'll send you a copy so you can refer back to it. And all that's left to say is thank you everyone for joining us today, and hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah, bye.